everybody. Welcome to Lara Trump Wanted for Questioning. This is the first Q&A post-inauguration, post-Donald Trump actually becoming our 47th president. I assume you have some really good questions, so let's see. Okay, question number one. Oh, we're starting out the right way. Coolest part of the inauguration events this week. You know, it's interesting because we did this one time before. We did this 8 years ago. And having that knowledge and kind of knowing to an extent what to expect. Now, you didn't expect the frigid temperatures, the snow, all of the crazy stuff, having to move the whole inauguration indoors. So that kind of threw a wrench into things. And I felt really bad because there were so many people I know from all over, not just the country, but all over the world who descended upon Washington, D.C. to be at the inauguration, to be out there, watch Donald Trump outside at the Capitol on the steps, take the oath of office. But that didn't happen in that way. It was still a beautiful ceremony. It was inside in the rotunda at the Capitol. So having done it before and kind of knowing what to expect, it was, I think, a good thing because those of us in the family could kind of get our heads around it a little bit. And to be honest with you, the thing that I probably enjoyed the most was just being around our family. Like, we all are never together like that in the same house. We all stayed in the same place, for 2 nights or whatever it was, back to back there in DC. And it was really cool just to be able to be around one another. We all have busy lives. We all have different things going on, not the least of which is my father-in-law. And so for all of us to be able to be there together, I thought it was a really cool time. To be there with my kids was a really special thing. And obviously they were generally more concerned with playing with their cousins than they were with all of the events and all of the, things that were happening. But I know that one day they'll look back and say, like, oh my gosh, I was there for such a historic day, and the gravity of it, they'll understand. But 5 and 7, that's a bit of a tough sell. So, just really, I think the time with our family and really being able to experience this again, and the feeling was so much different this time around. I think that's what I found most striking. In 2017, there was so much hostility and there was so much negativity surrounding Donald Trump being sworn in as president. And almost immediately, people were out there fighting him, not just from the Democrat side of the aisle, but Republicans as well. And it was so different this time around. We went to a lunch after the swearing in ceremony with members of Congress and a lot of the people who you probably saw up on the stage while he was being sworn in, members of the Supreme Court. And so it was a really special time. And honestly, my takeaway from that lunch was that I had people coming up to me who I know do not like Donald Trump, who I know didn't vote for him, who are very staunch Democrats, and people were nice. And I said, this could be something that we can see happening more and more going forward. Let's all just come together. We can be civil. We can be nice to one another. We don't have to agree on everything, but we should talk about it. That's what this country was founded upon anyway. So great time. But to be honest with you, I'm glad that's done and we can move on with our life. And now our country is finally on the right path. So very cool time. Thank you. Okay. Next question. Did you get to do anything this time that you didn't the first time? Oh, let me think about this. Was there anything? Well, obviously the ceremony itself was in a different spot. I think honestly I enjoyed it more just because the first time it was just kind of like all shocking. People were like, you're going over here and you're going over there. And we kind of knew, I think, a little bit more of what to expect. But was there anything the first time? I mean, other than having my kids there, threatening them at the church service in the morning to be quiet, those sorts of memorable events. No, I don't think there was a first time. You know what, though? No, I take that back. It was the first time that I really felt like the unity was starting in this country. I just alluded to that, but that did feel different. And, having that moment and having all of these people, having all the former presidents and some former vice presidents there. I think that was also very cool to see. Like, this is how America is supposed to operate. And so I'm just going to say it's the beginning of the dawn of the golden age of America. This is where it started, and I think it started right there in that rotunda. Okay, next question. New workout clothes when? I guess you mean new from my line. Well, stay tuned. I'm going to have some new stuff coming out just before Valentine's Day, actually. So I think you may want to get ready. There will be some red. You might call it, I don't know, a MAGA red that we're going to have. I think it'll be very cool. Some other new items coming out. So yeah, in the next couple of weeks, we're coming in. We're just cranking it out real hot and heavy. We're going in here. And now that we've got this election over, we've gotten through Christmas and New Year's and now the inauguration. Now we get back to real life and now we can actually do things. So I'm excited about that, and I'll be sharing it very soon. You can go to laratrump.com if you would like to check any of that out. For years, customers have been asking if MyPillow sells cross necklaces like the one Mike Lindell proudly wears every day. Well, guess what? You're in luck. They are excited to announce that Mike has partnered with a jeweler right here in the USA to create beautiful sterling silver My Crosses. You can save 30% today using promo code TRUMP at mypillow.com and click on the radio podcast square or call 800-624-3945 and be sure to use promo code TRUMP. You can choose from the women's or men's style, and make sure you do it soon because this amazing offer won't last long. Just go to mypillow.com and click on the radio podcast square or call 800-624-3945 and use promo code TRUMP. Let's see what we got next. Do you think this was a different Donald Trump being sworn in this week? Interesting. Yes, I do. I mean, how could he not be different? This is a guy who has been through so much. And I go back to the day he was sworn in 2017. And to see him and the way he's changed just as a politician, which he hates that term, absolutely hates it. But that's what he is now. He's president again. So we have to call him that. But yeah, I mean, he gets it. You know, this is a man who is obviously incredibly smart. He has been so successful at pretty much everything he's done throughout the course of his life in business and on television, all the different things. And so 2017, when he was sworn in, got into the Oval Office, started working as president, there was a lot to learn. And obviously he had a lot working against him. He had some people who were actually even in his own administration who were working against him. He had members of obviously the entire Democrat Party, the media working against him, people in his own party working against him. But he figured them all out now. And he fully understands how the swamp operates. And they don't like that very much. And that's probably part of the reason they didn't want to see this day come that we saw happen, of course, on Monday. But yeah, he's different. I think he's calmer and more sound in, you know, his position as president. I think having done it for 4 years and then having watched the train wreck that we all saw over the last 4 years, he knows exactly what he needs to do. And he's not getting sidetracked by the noise of the media. In fact, I've really enjoyed over the past couple of days watching him engage with the media. You know, the first one was, I guess, the afternoon after he was sworn in. He's there in the Oval Office and he's signing some executive orders and they're just shooting questions at him and he's just taking them and it's easy and it's no problem. And he's not worked up. He's not, you know, none of that. It was actually great to see. Not that he ever acted like that, but I think initially it takes a lot to kind of understand how they work and the best way to respond to them. And he's got it now. He's good to go. He knows the people who are going to work with him to do the right things for this country. He's making sure they're part of his administration. He knows the people who are bad news, and I'm going to say their time is probably limited in DC. In fact, I think he got rid of quite a large number of folks from the Biden team. Those folks are gone. And as of 5 o'clock today, I believe, any DEI policies in the federal government have been completely eliminated. And those are all good things for our country. So, yeah, I think it's a different Donald Trump. I also think when you come close to losing your life in the past year and you actually achieve the thing that you set out to do, yeah, you're a little bit different. And I feel hopeful. I think he feels hopeful. I think the entire world feels more hopeful today. So, yeah, a bit of a different Donald Trump. Still the same guy in there, though. Don't worry about it. Okay, final question. What needs to happen in Trump's 4 years to really unite our country? Well, I think it's already kind of started because people get it. Like, this is it. Donald Trump is in there for 4 years. And despite what the crazies out there will tell you, it is only 4 years. He's not going to stay a day longer. And the idea that they have to continually fight against him and throw all the crazy stuff out there and see what sticks, I think is kind of wearing thin on people. I think whenever people's lives start moving in the right direction, when life becomes more affordable, when gas prices come down, when you feel safer and better in your communities, when we don't have wars breaking out around the world and you actually see peace, coming back to the Middle East and in Ukraine, those are going to be very significant. And I think those are all things people can get behind. So I think Donald Trump said it best. He said, success will unify us. And I believe that. I think he wants this country to be successful. He wants every person to be able to have their shot at the American dream. He wants our country to be the leader of the free world and this strong beacon on a hill that we've always been. And I think people are starting to get that. And I actually think there have even been people who didn't vote for him on November 5th, who even in the past 2.5 months have been like, you know what, maybe this could be a good thing. And I believe they're going to start seeing that. So look, whenever your life starts heading back in a better direction, when you can save a little bit of money, take your kids or your family on a vacation for the first time in many years, I think that's going to be a really positive thing for people. And although they're going to still try to throw all the crazy stuff out there at him, I mean, look, they're already starting. I saw a bunch of things this morning they're attempting to do. I just don't think it's going to work. I think people are going to say, you know what, I am better off, and maybe this guy wasn't as bad as they tried to sell me. And I think that that's going to be a unifying thing. So maybe it'll come with the Gulf of America. Maybe it'll come with Greenland. I'm just kidding. These are just things I'm throwing out there because you never know what could happen with Donald Trump in the White House. So yeah, I think he's going to go down as one of the most unifying presidents of the modern era. And I think the people out there who are still obsessed with hating him, guys, it's time to get on board. It's time to let that go because your life is going to be better. And how mad are these people going to be? They're like, Donald Trump was right. This thing he did is actually successful for our country. You got to get on board. All right, that's going to do it for us for this episode of Lara Trump Wanted for Questioning. Make sure you send me more questions. You can post under this episode. You can go to any of our social media, post your question. I will always do my best to answer it. So until next time, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and follow, and we'll see you back here for more of Lara Trump Wanted for Questioning. Nothing is worse than being on a phone call that drops. Nothing is worse than trying to text someone and you can't reach them because your phone is out of service range. And nothing is worse than supporting these major corporations and companies who don't support us. That is why I love Patriot Mobile. They are America's only Christian conservative wireless network. They use every cell tower out there available to all networks so that they have the greatest 4G and 5G coverage nationwide, and they support the causes that are important to us as conservatives. If you go today to patriotmobile.com/Lara Trump and use the promo code Trump, you will get free activation today. Again, that is patriotmobile.com/Lara Trump. The promo code is Trump for free activation so that you can get a great cell plan and feel good about doing it.